call it. He grew up in Israel. He picked up a camera at 11 years old with his own savings. He became a digital nomad for 4 years. Eventually landed in Medellin, Colombia. Met his wife. I think you said his first week of being here, which we'll get to in a minute. He built a house in the mountains of Colombia in a town called Retiro. And then he became a father 14 months ago. And now he's running a software startup called Timeliner, which is used by over teams in over 30 countries. Without further ado, guys, Noam Schreiber, my man.
Brother Anton, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. How are you, man?
Thank you, brother. Welcome to Still Building Podcast. So, Noam, I always like to start at the very, very, very beginning for our guests who are listening, because I think a lot of people who listen to my show specifically, they find themselves in this spot, in these crossroads of being in a country, most of them in the United States, at a job, at a situation that feels safe, feels comfortable most of the time, and but they're also dreaming of doing something bigger, something better, something outside of the normal. And I think you specifically, not only have you done something outside of normal, but you've taken these steps, right? The first steps multiple times. If you don't mind, can we just go back to where it all started? You grew up in Israel, right? We
Yeah.
all know Israel is a place that most likely will shape you very specifically in terms of the intensity of living there. I actually wanted to go there 3 times in my life, and I haven't been able to because of
Yeah.
things that happened. I swear to you, man, I had 3 times tickets to go to Israel.
Crazy.
But at some point, you made a decision to go ahead and to just like pick up everything up and just leave and become a global nomad. Like, what was that moment like? What made you to actually make that first step? What was it calling?
Yeah, it's a mix of things. I wouldn't say it was like a dramatic decision that is like, hey, tomorrow I'm leaving Israel forever, or like I'm leaving the country and relocating me. No, it's more like a gradual thing. So I'll say my personal story, and in the same time I will give tips for people that fantasize this lifestyle or considering it. Um, So I was always into filmmaking, video editing, and I saw, in social media, all these people I learned from that are like traveling the world and making travel videos, and I'm like, fuck, I want to do it myself. So first, I started just going to nature in Israel and filming it. I had my business. I was filming business owners and editing videos for them. I started working with other editors, and it's very common in Israel that you go to like travel for a while, for like half a year in South America or Asia, and I wanted to go to South America. I went with a really good friend, and we were traveling around. I was a bit too intense with the camera, but yeah, we were traveling in Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, and then decided to separate, and that was after like 3 months traveling together, and that was like my first time alone abroad. I kind of got tired of only like going to see new places, because you get to like these crazy views, and it's like like it's a beautiful view, but you're kind of like saw too many, so you're not so excited of it. So I was like, okay, I need to stop moving every week and stay for longer in places. So I decided like to start this like lifestyle that I rent a place in a really cool place, and if I like, I will stay for like a month or two, and and then I also got tired of like just chilling around. So I asked my parents to send me my laptop from Israel, and I was starting like to become what's called a digital nomad. So I had a really good friend that he was like a videographer. He was in Israel. It was just before COVID, 2019, when all the people don't remember, but before like 2019, 18, short form content and all these talking head videos and captions, it wasn't such a thing. It started there. And it started strong in Israel. And I had this friend that went to film all these business owners, info product sellers, gym owners, whatever. And they were talking to the camera. He sent me in Google Drive all the videos. I was at the moment in Brazil, and I was just editing the videos from hostel, hotel, Airbnb, whatever. And I realized that I can actually earn money while traveling, and I was earning money more than I earned when I was physically in Israel. Um, I started documenting doing that to Instagram, and people really started asking me how am I doing it? How am I editing these videos? Uh, and that led me to also create an info product, like a course teaching video editing and filmmaking. Uh, I actually, anyway, it's a long story. I actually went to New Zealand and then COVID started. I had a Brazilian girlfriend. I went to live. I was like 8 months in Brazil with her, and then we broke up, and I went back to Israel. And I didn't think I will go back abroad. It was like, okay, now now my travels are over. Let's start life. But I kept doing basically what I did abroad, and my online course started growing. I also did some big productions. I did ad for Suzuki, the car company, and like some big basketball teams and stuff like that in Israel. But I really missed like the being abroad. Uh, Also because Israel was kind of intense in COVID, and I was not a big fan of these lockdowns and rules. And also because I liked the lifestyle that I can every 2, 3 months like see new places. And when I went back there, I kind of felt like going back to the old life. I don't know. So there was like this short form competition that I participate, short film competition that I went and participated every year. It's like online competition. You need to make a 3 minute video and about whatever you want. And I was had this crazy idea of like doing a video about a tribe in the jungle. So I just I had like roommates. I lived in Tel Aviv. It's like the main city of Israel, and had two roommates, and I told them like, "Hey guys, I'm going for like 2 3 weeks to South America. Somehow I'm planning to get to the Amazon and film like a tribe, and then I'll get back here." Like I was still paying for the apartment rent and everything. I had a car in Israel, everything. Anyway, I went to this trip. It's a whole separate story for a whole podcast, but somehow I met this random guy, Canadian guy, that he connected me to a tribe. I had no idea how to find a tribe. I didn't have any contacts. I just flew there with my camera. We ended up going there together to live with like this Embera tribe in Panama, actually, which is not the Amazon. And a day before, I met this random guy from Colombia. He was a pilot, and I'm like, he knew of Central America, South America. So I was like, hey, I'm going for like a week with this tribe, and after that, I'm looking for a cool place to like rent an apartment and edit the videos from. Like, where do you recommend me to go from all the places you traveled? And he's like, no, you have to go to Medellin, to Colombia. It's like the best for digital nomads, and there's good internet and beautiful girls and beautiful views. And I was like, okay. So I rent this random apartment, and I got to Medellin. And in the first week, I met my wife. This was 5 years ago. I'm still here. I didn't get back to my apartment with the roommates. And yeah, that's like long story short. Uh,
Wow.
if you
Okay.
ask me
Wait. Wait.
what,
Wait. Wait. You got
yeah,
so
yeah.
much that. Wait. So much that I'm just like, wow. Okay. So no, one of the biggest differences that I would love to have this podcast, my listeners to listen to is, of course, we hear a lot of great, our life right now, as I like to call it, a a reel of successful porn, right? I kind of like I know it's a bad way to put it, but everybody's talking about the good, right? Everybody's talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
great. Oh, hey man, like all this that you just said sounds amazing, but I'm sure like can we talk a little bit about the struggles, right? Like so you said which is great of that. I did hear that before that Israelis in general, whenever they finish school, it is a thing to go out there and do some traveling. So I'm glad that that was an opportunity that you had, but then you got to a point where you're separating with your group and you're continuing traveling. um, is there a time where you actually wanted to go back to the safety of, you actually did go back to Israel eventually, but
Yeah.
um, how did you so you learned editing, you got all these clients, which is great, but was there times where you couldn't keep like food on your table at times? Like, were you making money this whole time, or what was that separation of, man, this sucked, and to wow, I have a a filming company that I'm actually making a lot of money on, a
Yeah,
lot more money than I did in Israel. Like talk about like the actual struggles that you had to go through, if you don't mind, because this is what I love to talk about the
yeah,
most. It's not talked about at all, to be honest with you.
for sure. Um, First, I'll say for everyone hearing this and think or fantasize about doing that, the easiest way is just to not do it too dramatic. You can go to like a nearby country for like 3 weeks and try to work from remote and see how that feels. If you like it, good. It's not for everyone. It's not like some dream everyone has to do. That's one. Regarding my struggles, there are many, men, always. First is like eventually where you grow up with. You grow up with friends, you have all your circle, you have your family, your grandparents. Uh, the hardest moments is like when there are like holidays, or like I see my friends go to do something together, go to the beach and like send photos, and it's like you're in this moment that you feel like more lonely, and you wish you were there, and it's like, is it worth it? So this come. The more time pass, to be honest, I feel it less. But the first years, I felt it more. Um, so that's it. Regarding the business side, I was saving like about 30K USD before I went to this trip, because I was planning to travel for a while, like 6, 7 months. Um, but yeah, when COVID started and I was actually in New Zealand at the time, I started like not having much money, and also because of COVID, my business was like sending this guy to film business owners, and people kind of not stopped doing that, stopped producing content because their businesses didn't generate enough money, or they were at home and there was lockdowns. So I kind of had to invent myself, and I was focusing more on like the online course, but I had no experience in marketing or sales. I was just really good in video editing and filmmaking, but that's one thing. Another thing is like to make an info product and teach people and like talk to the camera and sell it and run ads. Like I didn't have any experience. So, you have this challenge of like, I didn't get to a point like I'm like with $0 in the bank, but it was like times that you need to kind of live in like cheap hostels and stuff like that, right? Until you figure it out. Um, so these are some
If you don't mind, I'm going to
challenges.
stop you right there really, really quick in terms of the
Yeah.
challenges. So I love that you said that you started your own online course, and I think I read I think on your LinkedIn that you grew it to over 2,000 students,
Yeah.
and you didn't know anything. I mean, now thank God we have all this AI, which I hopefully will get to in just a second. But back then you didn't. How did you learn all this? Did you get a mentor? Did you join a group? What I mean, there's so many people that would love to do things, right, and love to be just
Yeah.
like you said, live anywhere and work anywhere, but where do they start? How do you go from one student to 2,000? It's insane.
So it's a mix of many things. One is YouTube. I think I learned a lot I never went to the university or any of that. I was not a big fan of school, but since I was 13 years old, I was learning stuff in YouTube, how to edit, how to do animations, and after that also the business side. I was also buying several online courses myself. Even online courses teaching editing, not because I had to learn editing at the moment, but more to see how they're structuring the course, how they're teaching. All of that part is very different than just know how to edit. And also I learned from people I hired or were partial partners at the moment. So I had marketers and media buyers and people that were doing the things for me. They were getting like a cut of the profit, and I could see what they're doing and learn it by myself, right? So that's, yeah, if I had AI in these times, I could prevent many mistakes, I guess, and earn more money, but it is what it is. But yeah.
That's okay. What was one of the biggest mistakes you made at that time?
The thing comes to mind regarding the business was way overpaying my media buyer. I thought it's like so hard to run ads. I didn't even try to learn it in the beginning, like meta ads. I was paying him like half of the business basically for this guy. So yeah, I thought it makes sense because he's like the person bringing the clients. Like my business experience completely changed in the last years, right? But when I started back then was like zero knowledge. So I thought it's like marketing and sales is out of reach. I hate it. I don't even want to think of it. I just want to teach people and give them the technical stuff. But that was more like the comfort zone. So it made me like pay a lot. So for a course, online course business that many of these businesses can have like 50% profit or more, I had like 15 to 20%, which is fine. But for the long term could have been better, yeah.
So how did you go from having this marketing guy that you were paying a shit ton of money to figuring this out on your own and getting him out? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are in this position that are still paying media buyers a lot of money because of
Yeah,
that's where, like you said, leads are coming in. So how did you
right.
actually pull that plug?
uh, so it was gradual, but first I was consulting people that didn't have, like, half friends, half people consulting me that didn't have anything to gain or loss, so they just told me their direct opinion and show me how they do it in their own business. When you take consulting, it's best not to go to these generic business consultants, just to go to someone that did exactly what you want to do. So I had another guy that sell like a different type of course. He had media buyers, so I was kind of telling him, and he was like, "What? You pay so much? Like, let's talk. I'll explain you how I do it." And then when I understood the whole process and kind of understood how it should work, I had more clarity and I could make decisions without being too much worried about them. And that's when I fired this guy, got someone else. Also, I paid him way more than I should have, but much less than the other guy. Until I just learned that it's, well, today is very, it's so easy that you, I would even raise the question if you need a media buyer. Only when you're really in big scales you need one. So yeah.
Explain that if you don't mind. When would you not need a media buyer, and what are some tools? And I think, I mean, I know
No,
you shared with our group some of the things that you're working on, but it's more simpler if you could.
it's not
Mhm.
black and white. It really depends, right? It's everything is about your focus. But today with AI, it became a bit too easy that the technical part of some stuff are not the barrier. So, for example, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, managing the ads manager of Facebook was really complex. Meta has a really bad UI. Even today, it's not fun to work with them. So I sure if you have many other problems and you're dealing with clients and stuff, you prefer to prioritize yourself for this and bring someone else to do it. But today, first you can learn everything with AI, but more than that, Claude Code can now connect with something called MCP to different tools and control them for you. So you can tell him what to do for you as it was an employee, and he will literally do the things for you. So you need to provide him the ads, like the creatives, just the video or the image. He can also create the images. I did it some. Nano Banana of Google, you can, these are actually my most converting ads of like these images, static images for my software. But I also have videos that I film and have editors do. But you just put it in a folder in your computer. After you do all the technical setup of connecting Claude to your ads manager, you literally tell him, hey, go to this folder, check all these ads. If it's images, you can actually understand. And if it's videos, he can transcribe it, or you can just give him the script so he understands what's happening in the video. And then he understands what audience he needs to target, what's the budget you allow him. You put him like a maximum budget per day so he doesn't do whatever he wants, and he creates the campaigns for you. And all you need to do is go every day and write daily report, and he tells you like all the report and asks you, okay, these ads are performing the best, let's turn off these, I need you to make me more of these ads, da, da, da. And all I'm telling you, I just learned how to do 3 weeks ago, right? And I fired my media buyer. I really liked him, but I mean, the Claude Code is doing better results. So
That's
yeah, it's pretty
hilarious.
insane.
That's
It's pretty
that's
insane.
that's crazy. Um, no, I want to talk to you about your transition from being the nomad agency owner, and then I mean, filmmaker. A lot of people, what I found in general, being an entrepreneur, they don't pivot soon enough. They don't just like you say, make those drastic decisions or firing your media buyer even. But then going from the filmmaker, then you had your own academy, and now you have a SaaS product. How do you get away from fear of that next thing, right? We always, I mean, that evolvement. You have been evolving this whole time, from what it sounds like. What advice can you give our listeners to not hold on to what you know? There's a saying that I love: what got you here is going to keep you from getting you there.
Mhm.
How do
Yeah.
you apply that in your life?
I wouldn't say I did it perfectly, but
You
there
just
there
make it
is two sides of it.
you just
There is
make it.
two sides of it these
Go ahead.
days. There is two sides of it these days because you also have the other extreme, which is like the shiny object syndrome, which is very hard to pivot too much these days because like you open YouTube and everyone tell you, do this AI thing, do this AI thing, do e-commerce, do video editing, do marketing, do AI agency. So every time you have a struggle, it's like easy to go to YouTube and like convince yourself you chose the wrong thing and try there. But there, when you get to issues and problems, you will also think that. And it's very hard today because you have so many good offers. So that's one extreme. The other extreme is like to be stuck in the same thing that you don't see how it's going. So you need to learn to find the middle. For me personally, um, I was many years video editor, as I said, 13, like since 13 years old. I'm now 28. Um, and I had an agency managing 10 editors of people finishing my online course, and we were doing many videos. And I actually got an offer for someone that wanted to buy my online course, like to buy the business. So that was like a year and a half ago. I sold that business, and then I was kind of a week after, my wife was like, why are you not taking vacation? I like I don't know, I already wanted to look for the next thing. So my instinct was immediately to do like another like course in for product in the video world, like a bit different. So I started building it without thinking. I had all this school community. I started bringing people. But then I realized I don't know, I got to the peak in this and I didn't really like anymore the info product world in that moment. In the video world, I didn't enjoy editing to clients at all, only for myself. So I kind of started resenting this. And also, I thought there is bigger possibilities. This was a year ago, a bit, yeah, exactly a year ago when all these no code tools started appearing, Lovable and all these tools, and I started playing with them. And that what kind of got me into the software world. So it was very gradual, but now I cannot see myself going back to other stuff that are not software. I don't know if I answered your
Was it?
question.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you did, but I kind of want to understand. So you started playing with these tools, Lovable, and all those other, AI tools that help you build. But um, was it a problem that you solved, or was it just a solution that you came up with? Because I know, like, I did some research on the Timeliner guys, and just for everybody listening, because Gnome just went from having a course to actually having a SaaS product, and from what I understand, it solves a big problem of running a video production team, right? Like managing content, dealing with clients, sending feedbacks. I think you even mentioned something about WhatsApp voice notes being going back and forth. That's exactly where Timeliner comes in. Did you see this opportunity, or was this the problem that you actually solved for yourself?
Yeah, I was I was running my agency for many years, and I had many issues there. of needing to use one software to get clients approved, and clients send me feedback in WhatsApp, and I had to use ClickUp or Monday.com to manage all the tasks and the editors, and I had to use Google Sheets to track how much I need to pay each editor in the end of the month. I had to use Zapier to connect all of these and send like automations. It was a mess, really a mess. And I was like, I have this free time. Let's try to build like something of how I wish my software was. And I have no background in code. And a year ago, the no code tools were way worse than they are today. So I made this super broken prototype software. It's not even a software. It was like software that is like half presentation. I don't know. But it kind of showed like how I imagine this thing working. And I started showing it to some people in Zoom, even to Evan from our community here in Medellin. He has a big agency, managed 30 editors, and I got really good feedback from him. And I started showing it also to smaller editors, and I had my community already, so I could get people to hop on Zoom calls with me pretty quick. And I realized, okay, there is like a real pain. I was not the only one having this issue. And somehow one of these demo calls, some friend said, hey, you have to talk with this other friend of mine. His dad is an investor. Maybe they would want to invest. I show it to him, and I got like a pre-seed investment from them. It was like 3 weeks or 4 weeks after I started with this tool, Lovable. This was like a bit more than a year ago, and I did many mistakes, like crazy amount. I work with this Indian agency. They develop all the software for me, and it was very slow. They didn't use AI tools, so it was very slow, and we got clients, everything, like the business was growing because I already knew how to do the marketing, but the software was the bottleneck. Until finally I found a co-founder and CTO from Israel. He's really a rock star, and we decided to rebuild the whole software from zero, which was very painful after having almost a year like a software built, and you pay a lot for it. I pay like almost all the money I raised already, but it was a good decision. And now we have like the version 2 of it, and we're getting like people from all the world. I'm running ads myself. Obviously, I will hire someone eventually, right? It's not scalable, even if it takes several. Like currently, it takes like 2 hours of my day, but yeah. So that was the process,
I love
and
that.
now we're raising more money.
And now I love that. No, but I just want to make a point here that because I think most of businesses that actually do become successful, they do start with solving a problem that the owners or the founders personally have. So I love that about your story. So Noam is being very humble, guys. Noam built something really freaking cool. It's being used by over 30 countries, I think it is. But Timeliner, just for everybody listening, it's an all-in-one. I'll do a quick commercial for you because I did actually spend some time on your website. It's pretty cool, but it's an all-in-one platform for video teams, and we all know how stressful that could be whenever you have a team, whenever you're doing content creation. You have feedback, you have project managers, you have client approvals, payment tracking, and that Timeliner does it all in one place. So there's no more different tools from what I understand that you have to use, no more confusion between the teams, and no more chasing people for approvals. And Noam actually is offering right now 14-day free trial on your website, right, Noam? Where you don't
Yes,
actually even
yeah.
need a credit card.
Timeliner.io, yeah.
Timeliner.io, I'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, 14-day free trial, guys. No credit card needed. Go ahead and try it out because hearing it from Noam, who lived the freaking chaos himself, now he did that actually works. So love it, brother. So I would love to move on into your into the part which I love the most, which you were talking about how you moved to Medellin, not knowing many people. You met. This is kind of cool. I don't know if you want to talk about how do you meet a woman in the first week that then becomes your wife. Now you have a 14 months old. Now you're building a compound. He's not just building a house, guys. He's building a compound in Retiro, I think, for his whole family one day, which is freaking inspiring. But what I want to talk about most, if you don't mind, is you know that I have kids. I mean, they're business kids. So much freaking pressure, dude. How do you handle that pressure day in, day out? And I mean, I'm sure there's days like, man, this is just too much. Like, what do you go back to on that keeps you moving forward? Just like you said, you spent all this money that you raised, and now you're raising
Yeah,
more money.
yeah.
What drives you, man? Like, what's that
Hmm.
something that we can take away from this?
It's funny. Today I had one of these challenging days that was pretty stressful. Luckily, I got chill before this podcast. But yeah, it's like it's a lot to have like a family, wife, a kid, a business, especially a startup that there is like so much ups and downs. So you need like it's a lot of like mentality. Um, yeah, like the challenges is that you need to kind of you do need to have a work life balance, not like in a generic way, but to kind of talk openly with your partner and set expectations of how will be the process. Actually, I don't know, I work like 10 hours a day. It's not so extreme. I have time with my wife um, and baby. But some days it's like you only think of work. So it's really for women, they really want the men to be present with them. They can feel in a moment if you like you're thinking of your business. So for me, that's a big challenge because sometimes you're like thinking of whatever problem you have and ideas you got, and it's hard for you to focus in the moment. So that's one. And being a father, obviously, you want to be a big part of the development of your kids. For me, it's helpful the fact that I'm working from home. So I have my office here, so I have my space. I don't work like in the kitchen and having noise all the time because I had this experience when we were dating that I was in these Airbnb apartments and you don't really have your space. So I was like in Zoom meetings and my wife Diana was like walking around and it's like kind of creating tension. So it's good to have your own room. And also good to like know to put the separation. So I don't waste 2 hours a day in being in traffic and going to my office. So it gives me some time between. And and in my case, it's very helpful for me that my wife is really like also a wife, but also a mom. Like she's not going to any office or work. So I told her, you can work in whatever you want if you like it, but don't just work for something for money. I obviously had the privilege to tell her this. In some cases, it's very complicated, but in my case, it's very helpful, of course. So she's with the baby most of the day, and I told her if you want to work, go ahead, but only if you like it. So currently, I think she enjoys being a mom, and yeah, that's it.
I love that, dude. I mean, that answer is real, right? You didn't make anything up. I mean, you have a supportive wife who is raising your kid. You build your environment where you can go ahead and focus and do the work, even though you're saying 10 hours is not a lot. 10 hours is a lot for somebody who's working a W-2, used to working 5-6 hours a day. Even that 10 hours is still an entrepreneur. So I
Yeah,
love that, man. This is what I would I want the listeners to hear is that you're gonna have to make sacrifices, but at the end of the day, you also have to have a work-life balance. And 10 hours is still 10 hours, but don't kill yourself and work 16 hours and neglect your family.
yeah,
So I love that. So I want to go ahead and just bring it all home and get the pure wisdom, right? No, I really want you to dig down inside and be honest and truthful with us, and just because I'm sure you heard that there's a study out there that most successful entrepreneurs fail at least twice before they hit their own breakthrough, right? It's not on the first try. And
yeah,
I don't think that this is a coincidence. I think this is a part of what separates entrepreneurs versus entrepreneurs. So
yeah,
I really want the people that are listening to this podcast right now that are, they want your life. They really want to get out of their freaking rat race, to get out of this hamster wheel that they're in. They want the freedom. They want the mountains in Colombia. What would you say, and take a moment if you want to think about this one, but what would be the first thing that they need to hear that nobody's telling them?
I'll say what comes to mind, but
Please.
first, like all these people selling you stuff online and in YouTube,
Yep.
Many of them, I don't know who you're watching, but is earning money from selling you this dream or course. It's completely fine that you stay in your current job if you understand why you do it. So if your dream is to, I don't know, travel the world and be a digital nomad, or you want to go to Medellin to live in the mountains in a cabin, first have a logical understanding of what's needed for that. So let's say you want to go there, but you don't know if you'll be able to earn money in the meantime. So okay, keep working, understand how much the life costs here, and have even 6 months of like backup savings of just having your time. If you're single, is much more easy. Like I was literally like in these cabins that cost like $500 a month in these beautiful places, like all the day working and building my online course, like my previous business. You have zero distractions, and when you go out of your house, you have this beautiful nature. Even if you don't earn money, your life is pretty cheap. You have the savings, and you kind of know the worst case. You go back to your country and you find a job or go back to a similar job you did before. You need to understand that there is no get quick rich schemes or any of these shortcuts. And again, if someone is selling you this a trading or whatever course that tells you that showing you screenshots from WhatsApp of students that became rich in 2 months, 99% is bullshit. And even if it happened to someone by luck, it won't happen to you. So try to find something that you can see yourself, even if you're not sure that's your destiny or what you want, but you kind of see it interesting, and you can sit and work on that without thinking of time. You don't have to know this thing. You can play around and do different stuff, but don't like take this dramatic decision of quitting everything if you already have a job that makes you money. Like you will actually have more motivation in the current job you hate if you understand what that you do it to get to that life. So you're not like stuck there for 20 years. Like, okay, I will take this year to save this money. In the 2 hours I have after work, I'll watch YouTube videos and understand what I want to do, start play around. And then when I'm ready, I'll go to this adventure, right? And I understand that there is no magic. Eventually, to earn money, you need to solve a problem of someone. Many times it's easier to start with services because you don't need much of capital. Like a software, you need a lot of money. Maybe now with AI tools, you can build it without much money, right? You can vibe code with Cloud Code, but even then, is like probably you need money for marketing, a lot of money. So it's not necessarily the first thing I'll start. So services is great. Like you can learn to edit videos like really in a good way. I see you in 3 to 6 months, and start like offering services for businesses. Like it's very logical. Like business owner uses videos to market. Most business owners use videos. Okay, how can I help them? Maybe they need ideas of how to make the ads. They don't have time. They want someone to edit it for them, whatever issue you find they have. And you can provide services. If you'll be good and not only look on like showing you're rich in 1 week, like actually be very good in what you do technically, they will like it and they will pay you and you will get more people. And then when you start getting confidence of running your small business, you can open your mind for like bigger things, whether it's software, whether it's physical products. There's millions of things you can do, but that's the more like chill way to do it. That is not like selling your dream. Yeah. I cannot hear you. Wait, I don't know if the issue is.
That was me. I was on mute.
Okay.
So when I cut that out, no worries,
Yeah.
man. But that was awesome. I love that advice. Do not quit your day job yet. Start planning. Exactly how I started. I had a 5 to 9, and then from 9 to 5, I would do my real estate. So 100%, I agree with you on that one. We're going to go ahead and close things off with some rapid fire questions. I'm going to have 5 questions for you in total. Do not think about it, overthink it, just whatever comes to your mind as quickly as possible. Question number one, best business advice you've ever received.
It's not. It's hard to think of it rapidly. Wait.
Best business advice you've
always
ever.
always talk to your customers. Don't guess what
Always
they want. Ask them.
talk to your customers. Ask what they want. I love that. What's the worst either business or life advice you've ever received?
Um, well, business advice is like sell to whoever one is willing to buy from you. Like just focus on marketing. That's the most important thing. And yeah,
What's the worst
that
business
that
advice?
that
The worst. Okay, so that is the worst. Just focus on marketing and sell to anyone. What do you mean?
that's what comes to mind. But
Okay.
I got it from a guy that is like made a lot of money from courses. He told me just like do these more aggressive ads selling like a dream that you can edit videos from the beach. And many people actually buy. You will earn more, but it's for the short term. Because if you sell to random people that don't fit your product or you don't focus on improving your product, you will make like some good amount of money for 3 or 4 months, and then like your name and social proof will be destroyed and you will go to zero. So many people give these advices. So really care that your product is very good. That's what I can say.
I love that, man. Wow. Okay, that's a cool. Yeah, because I've heard that before too. But okay, makes sense. That's cool. All right. Next question is there a book, a podcast, or a resource that every entrepreneur needs right now?
I'm really in the software world now, so I'm kind of biased, but the best book I ever read that is focused on software, but it can go to other fields. It's called Software as a Science by Dan Martell. Uh,
My coach, man.
yeah, that's his
Dan
other
Martell.
book. So it's a very good book. I highly
Software as
recommend
a
it.
science. I heard it. If somebody who's not in the software world will it still benefit them to read it?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's the number one.
That's cool.
The life book I read is, uh, how is it called? The Way of the Superior Man. You know it?
I've heard of it. Is
I
that a
guess.
must? Superior man. Okay.
Yeah, The Way
Is-
of the Superior Man completely changed all my relationships and how I see many stuff. Highly recommended, yeah.
I gotta check that
For
one out.
men mostly, but also for women, yeah.
Okay. Next question is one thing that people get wrong about building a business abroad.
That you can sit and work from like Thailand or Mexico, sitting in the beach and having like these cool photos, working 2 hours a day, and then going to surf. It's possible in some point, but to build a real business and have stability, you have to have the hard work, at least from my experience. Uh, and it's better to actually create a routine if you're into working, right, and business, like to create a routine that is like, okay, I'm in this beautiful place. I want to go surf in the beach, but don't have FOMO all the day because otherwise you couldn't focus. So have the place you can focus, and in the weekend or in the afternoon or in the morning, whatever is comfortable, go look around, meet people, travel, but also understand your business. A real business you wouldn't be able to build if it's like 2 hours a day. Yeah.
I love that. Last question that I ask everybody, but I tie it to their current business. So with you, I'm going to tie it to Timeliner. If you want Timeliner to be what you really want it to be in the next 5 years, what does that look like? What are you still building Timeliner to be in 5 years?
So it's a pretty new business. We have a lot ahead of us. There is 10,000 agencies that are my ideal clients in the US. I want to get like even 10% of them, that is like 1,000 agencies, to subscribe to the software. get to. We already have people from many countries, but mostly currently from the US, to get to Europe, Asia, and eventually exit this company and build my village here in Colombia. I want to build like a small village and do homeschool with many other families. So yeah,
Your own little town. I love that, man. I can't wait to come check it out because I also want to homeschool my
you're
kids.
invited. We're looking for neighbors. So
Exactly. Well, man, actually, we are looking for a place, so you never know. You never know. I'll contact you afterwards. But Noam, this has been awesome, dude. Thank you so much for your time. I really mean that. This has been a great conversation, guys. Noam is a very humble guy, but he's accomplished and he's 28. You said 28?
28, yeah.
28, man, you're so young. 28 years of life. And just go check him out, guys, on YouTube, on Instagram. For anyone who's listening, if you're running a video team or managing any kind of content production, go check out timeliner.io as soon as possible. They do have that 14-day free trial. No credit card needed, no excuses, guys. Go ahead and freaking try it because I think it's really going to add value, especially if you're running a video team agency. And please do follow Noam. Noam, thank you again for keeping this real. Thank you for being here. This is
Thank you, brother.
still building podcast, and I'll see you, man, in the next one.